lovelies, hello family, and welcome to my channel. This is Kimberly Purpose. Um, yeah, today I wanted to do another video because I was really floored about this whole case. This is my first time ever doing this video on a man, Amber. What is it, Amber Guyger? The results, I wanted to barf, vomit when I saw this. Our people hugging a murderer. This woman is evil. She went into this man's Gotham's, I think I'm pronouncing his name right. I think his name is Gotham's home, and murdered him and gunned him down. And yeah, Botham, I meant to say, not Gotham, but Botham Jean, into his home and killed this man for no reason at all. She went into the wrong house, and for some reason, I don't understand for the life of me why she couldn't understand she was in the wrong house, and she gunned this guy down for no reason. And everything, this whole case is based on gray supremacy, pretty much. Like I said, I don't use white because, like I said, white means pure and godlike. And these people are not far from pure and godlike. And everything has been so unfair. And this girl has been given so much privilege. Like when she killed the guy and didn't bother to help save him and did the bare minimum and did hardly nothing to try to save this man's life, she even tried to cover up the fact, all the evidence, the police department, everybody was trying to cover for her behind. And also the fact that, they tried to cover everything. And, me, I suspect she was high on something, on drugs or something, because I don't think they even bothered to do some sort of drug test on her to see if she was high. Because I thought, because she was just totally off and delusional and crazy, to just go into someone's home and just gun them down for no reason and thinking it was in her home. I'm going, how on earth can you not know you're not in your own house? I just don't get it. She's supposed to be this professionally trained cop and know what she's doing. She's killed this man. And then on top of that, the brother, let me see if the brother hugs this criminal, this crook, this evil crook. This woman is a criminal. She didn't have no remorse for killing. Let me go over here. I don't even want to read this article. It's just frustrating. But I'm gonna go over here to the images. I'm pretty sure it's an image of brother. I'm going, what in the hell was this dude thinking? Here's the brother hugging her. I want this bitch, I hate to say this, helper, killed your brother. Excuse my French, but this helper killed your brother. How on earth can you hug this woman after all of this that took place? And I think a lot of the times, this devil killed your brother and you hug him. All of this stems from the black codes, the slave codes. And we was forced to learn Christianity. And I think the mixture of history, the slave codes, and the fact that we were heavily indoctrinated and forced to believe in Christianity. Christianity is heavily weighed upon indigenous people to forgive everybody when they do wrong. It's like you gotta always forgive. And I think forgiving is a weakness, and people see that as a weakness. And now with these hugs from both the judge and from the victim's brother, shows everybody else of other ethnicity, that it's all right to just go around and mistreat us and abuse us and kill us and do whatever, because we'll always be forgiven and there's no punishment. And that's the issue I have, is no punishment. See, as indigenous people, we need to tap into our ancestral roots. Our ancestors would not have let this gone. Indians would not have let this gone. This would not have slide. It's because we are so heavily indoctrinated to Christianity. Christianity teaches us, and we were forced to learn this through the slave codes. It was shoved down our throats to forgive everyone, regardless as to what they do to us. And no, this heifer should have been in prison for much longer than that, way longer. They got people who are in prison for marijuana charges for 40 years. Okay? And this bitch over here, I'm sorry, this gray heifer gets away with only 10 years. And everybody know they give gray Caucasoids, I'm sorry, Caucasians a little slap on the hand, and they don't, they never served her full time. So she's gonna probably get out in 5 years. They should have had her in prison so she could not live anything a part of her youthness in her life. Gotham cannot ever experience his whole life. He never gonna have children, because I don't think he had a chance to get married and have a family or anything. He was still young too. He can't have a family, have children, and enjoy himself. But her ass, it's all right for her great behind to be able to come out only in 5 years or so, 5 to 10 years, and still pop out a baby and get married. No. And see, that's the problem I had. They should have made her ass stay in jail for a very long time so she could never have a child and never have an offspring to spread her disease, evil ways onto this planet, because she's a plague. And forgiveness, she should not be forgiven. And when you forgive, that's why that's why I think that's the problem we have as indigenous people. That's part of the reason why there's no punishment. It's because we are still suffering from Stockholm syndrome. And I'm gonna do a video about that. I'm a psychotherapist, and I'm gonna do a video on that, because it's psychology. It's in our head. It's a mental illness that we're dealing with from 500 years of oppression and abuse from these very people who made up this system to prop themselves up, and to try to have this false illusion of supremacy when it doesn't exist. Okay, they are not superior, far from it. If anything, they're very evil. Evil people who impose themselves on others, and and it just doesn't make any sense. But this hug from the judge, it really bothers me. I think both the brother hugging, Gotham's brother hugging her. And I wonder what time they did these hugs. I wonder, was it prior to the sentencing or was it after? Because that makes a difference as well. If it's right before the sentence, that will shed more light as to, the whole thing. But like I said, this is definitely Stockholm syndrome, and I wonder if she's been paid off, because we got a lot of coons as well. People who will just turn a blind eye to everything just as long as they get money into their bank account. But that's just I'm wondering, because this is totally unprofessional. Now, why would you're a judge? You are supposed to be unbiased. Does she hug every murderer that comes through her courtroom? Is this a habit? That's my question. How many times have she hugged every murderer that came through her courtroom? If she haven't, and this is one of the few and far between, then obvious this is, make you wonder why. I understand the Gotham's brother. I think it's still, and then from what I read and heard, I believe the family is Christian. I really do. I'm gonna do some more research, but I believe they're Christian. And I think, because they said Jesus and all that. So I'm assuming that they're Christian, I'm thinking. And so if they're Christian and they are indigenous aborigines into this land, which I'm pretty sure they are, they grew up with the false narrative and the doctrines here in this country that's been imposed on us for hundreds and hundreds, no, literally 500 years. And so it's taught to us in the classroom, it's taught to us in the church, it's taught to us in the community to always forgive everybody, regardless as to what kind of abuse and mistreatment and that are imposed on us. And it's time for us to eliminate that mindset, okay, and go back to, now that we have an identity and we know who we are, we have strong evidence and we know for a fact who we are, that we are the true Aboriginals, the Paleo Indians that they talk about all the time in history books and skate over the description, because they know that we are the Paleo Indian, the first, the original. We don't have no excuse now to allow this to continue. We got that knowledge now, and it's time for us to change our mindset. And I think it's something that we need to learn and start, healing ourselves. And it's a mental illness, you all, and it's a spiritual abuse that we psychological, spiritual, and also physical. It's just all the way around full abuse and mistreatment from this land. It's not from this land. It's from the Greys invaders that came into this land, and it's time for us to not accept that anymore. It's time for us to open our eyes and see the truth and see things as they really are. This is mental illness, okay? What the brother did, hugging on her, is a mental illness, the perfect epitome of mental illness. I should have kept that window open with the brother. Let me go back and see if I can pull that hug. Now that's that hug. I'm going to pull it up again in images. I'm going to pull up the picture of the brother hugging her. This right here, you guys, it's a mental illness. It's psychological. This is what you get with 500 years of the slave codes. And it really hasn't really changed. And we're taught to love these people regardless as to what evil deeds they do. And the saddest part is we don't even know how to forgive our own selves, our own people. Now, and we just forgive too much on everything, and this is ridiculous. And I'm looking at this, I'm going, there's no way he should have hugged this woman. And when you forgive all the time like this, there's no punishment. And on that, the energy, you humanize this woman in the courtroom, and that probably was what made the judge change her mind and want to give her a lighter sentence, a lenient sentence, which is ridiculous. That brother should have sat his butt down and allowed things to happen. And then, and maybe she would have gotten 20 years like she deserved, at least 20 or 25. Personally, I thought she should have gotten 40, a life sentence, a life for a life. It's not fair that she gets out young enough to be able to pop out a baby and get married and enjoy herself. Gotham can't do that. So why should she? She should be in that jail cell. She didn't have no remorse. She's a selfish helper. And why let her out and she gonna come out and do the same thing again? Because she didn't get no punishment. As far as I'm concerned, she didn't get punished. Not severely enough. I'm glad she's going to prison, but I don't think it's enough. I think it's too light of a sentence. I think we should not be forgiving her ass. I think we should have imposed negative energy upon her to ensure, because I think spiritually, that energy level is very important. Gray caucasoids don't forgive us on anything. They make sure they put the most negative, powerful energy on us to ensure, and then upon their system too, to ensure that we get the heaviest penalty. And we should be doing the same. And we should be creating our own system too to ensure that they get punished too, and to impose upon grays, because grays need to be punished as well. That's why I call them gray. That's one way, is not calling them white and calling them gray, imposing negative energy and frequencies into them, just like they do upon us. And we should be using our own language to impose it. Because I don't think people realize this is more than just physical. This is spiritual. It's psychological. It goes to the core of within who you are, and also spiritually as to your energy as to who you are. And we don't even use our powers and realize how powerful we really are. The power of language, the power of speaking things into existence. People don't realize the language is very important. The body language. This is poor body language. You just allowed her to get away with murdering, Gotham, who never would get a chance to live his life to the fullest. Tell him what great things he could have done. But no, we got this evil bitch who just murdered him for no reason, living to bring more of her evil ways onto this planet, and to possibly spread her evil seeds onto this planet, and like a virus, to plague this earth. Been one less gone in prison, and less likely chances of her, she came out as a 50 or 60-year-old, to pop out a baby. But now you allowed this bitch to be able to come out and spread more of her evil ways. But that's how I feel, you all. And I know, I'm sorry, I don't feel no remorse for this woman. And no, I don't forgive her. I wished negativity upon her, just like she bestowed on Gotham. And this family, I'm sorry, is mentally ill. They are suffering from Stockholm syndrome, and they still haven't opened their eyes to truth. This judge, I'm starting to wonder, I'm looking at her, has she been paid off? Is she a coon? Was she paid off? Or was she forced to do it? Because maybe it could have been fear. Maybe somebody threatened her. Because this is historic. And they didn't want one of that kind to go to prison or to serve the maximum time like she deserved. Something went on right here. I'm just wondering. Either she got scared or she was paid off. Who knows? I would like to see what you all think. I just want to see what you think. I was looking at another YouTuber redirecting. I don't know her name, but I watch her channel all the time. Y'all might want to check her out. She did a video on this, and she showed a video of these grays and gray Caucasian male who said that they would have never forgiven this person. And if roles were reversed, they wouldn't have forgiven a black person, an Aboriginal, for killing their family member. And so if you know that they're not going to forgive us, why are we forgiving a group of people who hate us and are evil? And if they, don't, and they feel this way, why on earth are we hugging these people? It's definitely a mental illness. And like I said, I'm glad that I went into psychology and I'm studying this. And researching this and getting to learn more about this myself, it's a problem. And it's in order for us to grow, we got to heal ourselves from within. We got to learn to love ourselves and value who we are. We got an identity now. We know who we are. Now we need to start healing ourselves from within. And then we can move forward and bring the bright light into the universe. The earth is calling for us. I mean, the earth is crying. These beings are destroying our planet. A lot of destruction is going on. When we were leaders of this earth plane, it was much more peaceful. The earth was clean. It was pure. We need to go back to our indigenous ways. That's the only way. We got to go back to our ancient spirituality. Once we tap back into that, then we can go forth. But we haven't, because we're still stuck on Christianity. We're still stuck on indoctrination. We're still stuck on gray supremacy. But, you know, there's still hope for us. We can make it. We got to believe and speak that positive energy into existence. And, you know, we have more power than we think. And one way is also changing our mindset, how we speak, how we, our body language. You know, this is the example, the epiphany. But I'm going to do another video on it. This is the perfect example of Stockholm syndrome. This judge, Botham's brother, is a perfect example. There's no way we should be forgiving this woman. We should be doing our indigenous chants to ensure her punishment. So that way they will learn that we will not be tolerating this and that this will not happen again. But it won't happen until we change our mindset and our way of thinking. And we have the power from within. It's from the inside out. You know, it's not outside coming in to us. You know, that's how we're doing things backwards. Like the encounter always says, everything is in reverse. Everything is in reverse. But please put your comments below, you guys. I want to hear what you all think about this case. You know, do you think it was appropriate for the family, you know, for Botham's brother to have hugged this evil woman? And do you think it was appropriate for the judge? Personally, I think he just ruined the chances of his brother getting the fullest justice possible by forgiving this woman. He should have been ensuring justice by channeling that energy to ensure her punishment. You know, it's not hatred, it's not evil. It's just that justice needed to be served for this woman, and it wasn't completely served because of our mental illness and indoctrination and mistreatment from the past. And it's something that we have to fix. And the only way we can fix is by healing ourselves. But please thumbs up this video and don't forget to subscribe. And till next time, love and peace, family. Bye-bye.